You must be pleased with that. Top the group, and some really good performances overall.
Yeah, I think coming into it, we asked the boys to put in a performance. Obviously, a lot of the time you can't control the result in football. That's just the way football is. But you can control the performance, and that's what we asked for from the boys. And I thought the young players came in and really stuck to our identity. I don't think there was you could tell the difference from watching previous weeks to watching tonight's game in terms of how we set up, how we want to play the game, how we want to try and dominate the ball and hurt the opposition. So yeah, I thought everyone was outstanding, especially the young players deserve a mention for how they came in and they handled themselves, and they done the other side of the game well as well. They fought, they worked hard, they battled, which is really important as well. So yeah, I thought they were outstanding.
In our commentary, we talked about Charlie Waller, and there was outstanding performances throughout, but he seemed to have an assurance about him. He got a goal as well, and if he did make a little error, he atoned for it, almost immediately.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. You can see that he's really good technically on the ball. He really suits the way we play. Not having seen him, the question was, can he come in against men and can he do the things what defenders have to do as well? And he answered all them questions. He was brilliant early. I think he dominated early. He won all his duels. He was commanding. He looked like a leader. He didn't look the age that he is. So it's really important that we manage him now as well in his progression. Obviously the position he plays is going to help as well, because left side centre halves are hard to find. So yeah, he's got a real chance in his career, and I think tonight's performance was a real good thing for him, and it shows where he is in his development, but also how high his ceiling is for where he can go as well. So I think he'll be over the moon, but I don't think that goal was his. I think it bounced off someone and went in. But
There's players out there like Charlie Waller, who obviously at the start of their career, right at the start, and the other players who I suppose had a different aim tonight, like Dar Burns, who aren't that far ahead in their career, but you know what I mean,
yeah.
like Dawson Devoy, bit more pressure maybe because they're ones who are working for a first team place almost right now.
Yeah, I think in football the pressure is all that you put on yourself. How much pressure do you put on yourself? And some players need to put that little bit of pressure on themselves to produce performances. But again, the boys have been unbelievable in training. They haven't put a foot wrong. They've worked really hard. They've done everything we've asked for them. Obviously, we're asking a totally new style of play, and they've been outstanding in training. Then tonight they can reaffirm that to the manager that yeah, we are here and we should be playing week in week out, and that's all you can ask for the boys, and that's from everyone at the football club. They have to show that they deserve to be out there on a Saturday, and I think they've definitely done that, and they've given the gaffer a lot of questions that he can answer them.
What about the youngster Dean Lewington? Obviously the second time you've seen him, I think he came on at Reading, didn't he? But obviously from the start, and then the opportunity to work with him.
Yeah, Dino's outstanding. He's an outstanding professional around the place. He really suits our style of play as well, how intelligent he is on the ball. He always seems to have time and space. He always picks the right passes. We're really fortunate to have been able to come in and have someone like him to lean on, and he's helped us come in. He's helped us sort of come in seamlessly. Really, he's been a big part of it. So it was good to get minutes in him, because he's going to be really important for us. Everyone knows what he means to the football club. It's a pleasure to get to work with him as a coaching group, and yeah, we're really looking forward to continuing that journey with him as well.
And just on this competition, you got to the final of the FA Trophy with Gateshead last year, of course. So kind of that type of competition, the one that maybe in the early rounds, not too many fans, and it kind of well, it's much maligned really. But actually, when you get further in it, it can mean Wembley, and it can mean a day out at the National Stadium.
Yeah, I think any trip to Wembley is really special. Any competition that has that at the end is worth really going for it and putting all you can into it. So we had the fortune of going there last year with Gateshead. Obviously we didn't get the result that we wanted, but it was an unbelievable day for everyone. All our families were there and stuff, and it's something that we'll never forget. So the chance to get that again is something that we want to try and do, and we want to give everyone the moment. I think that was the big thing at Gateshead. We didn't win, but we gave the fans a really special day out, what they might never ever have again. And if that's something that we can do for MK Dons as well, then we'll certainly love to do that.
There were some senior bodies immediately going around Josh Clark-Anderson at the end, having given away that penalty. I mean, it's important, isn't it, that those kind of players lift the youngster up, because he looked pretty distraught giving away a penalty.
Yeah, it is, and football's ruthless. And the best way to learn is through moments like that. So at that moment, he probably feels really low, really down, but in 5 years, he'll look back at that and it might be the best thing that's ever happened to him. So it's how he responds to that now. These things happen in football, as I say, there's certain moments, certain actions happen, and you just can't control it. It's split-second stuff, and obviously he was devastated at the time, but hopefully he's put it behind him, because the result was still a positive result. And yeah, it's a real test from early on to see how he's going to react to that adversity, and if he reacts in a positive way, then that could potentially be the best thing that's happened to him in his career. So we'll keep an eye on him and speak to him, but as I say, it's football and it's part of learning.
Paul mentioned briefly there Dar Burns and his performance tonight. You know, he is fighting for something else, but how tough is it for players who are just on those fringes to try and get that opportunity? Because I think it's his first appearance since late February.
Yeah, it is. It's really tough. I always say in football, it's the hardest thing, because all you want to do is play on a Saturday for 90 minutes. And that's why you fall in love with the game. You want to play on the grass with the ball. It's simple as that when you're 6-year-old, and then you come up with it, and all of a sudden that's taken away from you. And it's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing for us to manage. It's the hardest thing for players. And all you can do is just keep coming in every day and working as hard as you can. And when you get the opportunities, try and show the manager that you should be playing, and you're deserving for an opportunity in the squad. And I think he's done that tonight. But as I say, not just tonight, I can't speak highly enough of that attitude that they've had. They've not come in and said, I need to be doing this, I should be playing. They've just worked hard, they've listened, they've tried to take on the information, and they've been patient. And as I say, that's going to be in good stead. Whatever happens in the career, same with the penalty. You've got to take this adversity of not getting in, and you've got to turn it into a good thing and make sure that your career goes from strength to strength because of these moments. So yeah, it's important that he does that.
We've talked quite a lot about the difficulties that the first team have in taking on an awful lot of information over a very short period of time to get this style of football across. When you see the youngsters coming into the team and taking to it relatively easily by the looks of it, how much involvement have you had with the academy in getting that message across so that it's almost the same as the first team?
Yeah, not much, to be honest. We spoke to the coaches when we first came in about how we like to play, our style, what we want to do. We've had a couple of we had a session yesterday where they joined in and they watched 11v11, so they watched the style. But I think it's a lot of credit to the senior players who are out there with them tonight. They really managed them through. They told them the positions that they needed to be in certain moments, and we can help them as much as they can, but the biggest credit goes to them because they're so willing to do that. They were willing to put themselves in positions. They were so brave in getting on the ball. Obviously, everyone can see the way we play. You have to be brave. You have to be willing to make mistakes, and I think the boys done that tonight, and it's really good for them to do that at such a young age, to show that they're brave and they're not scared to make mistakes, and they're willing to listen and take our information and play the game how we want it played.